Good day, everyone. It's August 23rd. It's a Thursday. There's a ton of baseball. Not really. Actually, it's not that many games today. There aren't that many. Was there 8 games today? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Lucky number nine. Well, let's go over all the games because it's only 11 something. It's 11:24, and I've already done a lot of work on the file. A lot of these lineups are in. We had a decent day yesterday, and I actually did a video, which is going to be at the end of this video, even though I recorded it before this. Anyway, because it was so boring that I didn't want you to suffer through it. So let's go over the games right now. Cleveland and Boston starts at 1 o'clock. I hope you have off work today because it's that week in August and you can watch this game. Of course, it likes the under just like it did last night. We hit that without a problem. We hit that like a pedestrian while driving drunk. We really hit it hard. And 51-37, it likes Boston today. It did not like Boston yesterday or something. Yeah, it was like really close yesterday. I told you not to pick a team, but just to pick the over. That worked out. I like it again today. It likes Boston. It's a rough line, but you can see it's the seventh highest pick of the day. There's some later picks in the day that it likes a lot. Philadelphia and let's see what we can do here. Let me shrink this a little bit for you. So Philadelphia and Washington. Fifth pick of the day, Philly. They let us down late last night. Oh, man, I thought they had it all the way till the end. It likes them again, even against Scherzer. Now, you're going to get a very favorable line. I'm amazed that it's 41-32, even with Scherzer pitching. That's without the line. So we're a loser with Philadelphia, but we're a bigger loser with Washington. So I like Philly plus 1.5 or this 143. I'm not going to touch the over-under because Scherzer's pitching and anything can happen. So, no. James Shields and Matt Boyd. It's the White Sox versus Detroit. Likes the White Sox slightly. We liked the White Sox a little bit yesterday, and I believe they won, I think. So, slight underdog. We're against Vegas both on win strength, and we believe that the line should be almost flipped here. So I say go with White Sox plus 1.5. Low scoring game at White Sox plus 1.5. You get that at anything around like negative 125 or something. That's a phenomenal bet. So look into that. San Francisco at the Mets. Likes a low scoring game again. I like the under for sure. What? The over under is 9 on that game? What? I must have typed that in wrong. I'm going to look at that. If that is really 9, you got to bet the under. I think that's a mistake, but if it isn't, bet the under for sure. Doesn't like anybody in the game. You got DeGrom pitching. I am so confused what's going on there. I must have typed that in. That should be a 7.5 or flat 8 over under on this game. San Francisco and the Mets. Something I don't know. Unless DeGrom is not pitching. To San Diego and Colorado. Interesting that it doesn't predict more runs in this game because of Lucchesi, I guess. All right. So stay away from the over, I guess. But Colorado minus 1.5. Colorado win. Colorado over. I don't know whether they gave you the 5 runs. Maybe it'll give you for that. Maybe 4. If it gives you 4.5, I'd do it. 5 is iffy. I hit it last night barely. They hit it late and also hit the Arizona over late last night. It was very consistent with the files predictions. It was quite nice. But it does like Colorado to win, and this line's reasonable. I expect that line to get worse throughout the day. Atlanta and Miami really likes Atlanta. We had the Marlins sneaking some games in, beating the Yankees yesterday, but Eliza Hernandez probably not going to be up to the task of a team Atlanta who has a nice win percentage history with us and a lot of experience. I like this game. There's a reason why it's the number 2 pick. Kansas City and Tampa Bay doesn't want you to pick anybody. Over-under's iffy. Win strength gives you Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay probably win. I think the line's a little rough. That's the problem here. Tampa Bay will probably win just like yesterday. But there's a reason why it's telling you to stay away, so I always trust the file. Cincinnati and the Cubbies. Loves the Cubbies. Daniel Murphy there to play, right? I didn't see him last night, but I believe he played. Look at the stats. Good for him. I'm going to need to update the stats, actually, when his lineup gets in here. Also, Oakland over Minnesota, of course. Why would Oakland want to lose 2 in a row? They probably wouldn't. This is a huge win strength if they lose that against Cole Stewart. Is Cole Stewart correct? Yep. Then, so that line's definitely going to get worse throughout the day. So if you see that at 168, grab it now. And then there's a beginning to the video that's going to start right now. So good luck, everyone. And if you want a copy of the file, go subscribe or contact me somehow. There's like a million ways. Go to KenBramerman.com. And good luck. May your picks be winning. I think that you're going to hit this. This one, the Cubbies, weird stuff can happen with the Cubbies, but I like them. Atlanta, unless Miami continues to play well, Colorado should really probably win this game too. I think our top 4 look really good today, just like they did yesterday. So we're out. Good day, everyone. Happy, what day is it? We have answers to these questions now. It's August 23rd, and it's a Thursday. That's right. It's 11:17 a.m. It's the MLB Pick Sprapp. How's everybody doing? We had a pretty good day yesterday. Let's take a look at the bankroll sheet. Okay, so yesterday shows a negative profit yesterday, but some of the numbers are not exactly as the way they were showing when we were posted yesterday. Like San Francisco did not tell you to bet them. Yankees were a big loss. Oakland, of course, was a loss, but a lot of our big numbers here, and this is what's really comforting to see and what I like seeing overall now. I'm going to show you some stuff here is, so our bet scores. Our bet scores are a calculation that figures out whether or not we should bet the team if you're wagering, right? And so what happens is that our bet scores are higher. That means it's more of a sure pick, right? Well, if you kind of look at what has happened yesterday and then over time, I'm going to show you in a minute here, the top 4 we won. These games we won. Cubbies were big favorite, Arizona, Colorado. Arizona, convincing fashion. Milwaukee, convincing fashion with Peralta. Colorado scores a lot of runs. San Diego's no good. And the Cubs, poured it on late yesterday. We lost the Yankees, bummer, tough loss. And then you start to see the bet scores drop a little bit, and it's not as reliable. So this is one day, right? I mean, if you looked at just bet scores above, I'm starting to realize what the number is. Bet scores above 3, saying that's a sure enough pick to make. All of a sudden, you made money for the day. And one thing I want to show you overall is what happens when we don't look at just today, because these are long-term plays as well. I found the sweet spot is about 3, and in terms of what the threshold is for a proper bet score. Because look at our running profit here. This is our running profit here in this column. And these are our bet scores of all the games. This was a Boston game on the 10th of August, right? That paid, the line on that was probably like negative 200 or negative 222, right? Well, the goal of the file is to predict the most surefire games to pick, right? And load up on those. You want to pick winners. And you can see that the profit is continually kind of steadily increasing even as these bet scores go down and start to reach a threshold of about, here's, start to think about where's your maximum. Is it at about 5? Like, are these really the surefire games? Or I think it can go all the way down to 3, because this is the other thing. Look at this. See, we're at 9 units profit here, right around 3, and you can see it starts to drop off. If we go back to look at this entirely at 0, you can see that it really starts to drop off down here. We actually go negative at these games that I said to bet, but then we get it back later. Look at this, at all these games that are down here. So this is kind of a wash. When I see this, I mean, look at the change in the oscillating wave. It feels like a geometry wave of like sine or cosine going back and forth down here. That means that we're just throwing darts. That means that there wasn't really a clear, decisive winner or pick to go with. So when we're talking about just winners, I feel like this threshold right here is around 3 or even around 5 if you want to talk about loading up on surefire picks. And I can show you another way to look at this, which is if we look at this by win and loss. It's going to be team, and then we can do this by win and loss. I'll show you something. Right? So games above the threshold of 5 are 39 and 16. That's a reasonable sample size, 14% ROI. That's excellent. Problem with that is you're looking at days from, looks like there were, see, for example, we started this on the 30th of July and 30th, 31st. First, there wasn't even a game to pick that was over a threshold of 5. So you become bored with what is available to pick if you utilize this high of a threshold. So that's your 14% R. Well, so when things aren't as good, but you still want to play every day, now all of a sudden your threshold of 3, which is what I like, still only a 2% ROI. What about 3.5? Yeah, see, it's really, I'm going to adjust the formulas to try to find the Goldilocks sweet spot of where that ratio is, where it says pick above or don't pick below. And also we're going to talk about over-unders and other things that the file is providing information on. But this right here looks very, very reasonable. I feel like 6 or 7% ROI per bet is very, very good. 58 and 31, I mean, I like this. This is obviously better, and maybe we'll weight things appropriately. But I'll get to today's matchups because we're already 5 minutes in. I'll also note that they didn't start until 5 minutes in. So really cool stuff. Very interesting stuff, and I'm really happy to see that there's a lot of good things to look for within the file. Okay, so now we have this set up. The reason why I have to set this up like this is that in your matchup sheet, this part right here that talks about team history and also team pick sample size is related to this pivot table over here and this display in the bankroll sheet because we have a lot of moving parts in this file all at once as it's being developed. Now, let's talk about today